Have you ever wondered why some people move through life with this quiet confidence, while others, even those making twice as much money, always look stressed about their finances? The difference is not in a higher paying job or in having millions saved up. It's in crossing a psychological threshold that changes everything about how they think, decide, and move. That threshold is $10,000. And in this video, I'll tell you why your first $10,000 matters more than your first $100,000. Make sure you wait till the end, where I'll reveal the confidence compounding effect, an invisible force that makes every dollar after your first $10,000 easier to earn. Quickly leave a like and let's start. Think about what life looks like when you have zero savings. Every single decision carries weight. You're at the grocery store, calculating whether you can afford the good coffee or if you need to buy the one that tastes like burnt dirt. Your friend suggests dinner, and you're inventing excuses because admitting that $30 would destroy your budget feels humiliating. This is what financial anxiety looks like. And it's exhausting. But what actually happens inside your brain when you cross that $10,000 threshold? And more importantly, why does that specific number trigger such a dramatic shift in how you make every financial decision afterward? The answer lies in something neuroscientists have been studying for years. When you have zero savings, your brain operates in survival mode. Your prefrontal cortex, the part responsible for long-term planning and rational decision-making, gets overridden by your amygdala, the fear center, and survival thinking keeps you stuck. But when you cross $10,000, something shifts. Your stress hormones drop. Your cortisol levels decrease. Your brain stops screaming danger at every transaction and starts asking different questions. Instead of, can I afford this? You start asking, is this worth it? That subtle shift in language reflects a massive shift in mindset. You move from scarcity thinking to abundance thinking. And abundance thinking is what builds wealth. So what does this look like in real life? Here's a perfect example. Imagine two people, same age, same job, same salary. One has zero savings. The other has $10,000 in the bank. Their company announces layoffs. The person with no savings immediately panics. They start sending out desperate resumes. They'll take any job, any pay cut, anything to avoid the terror of unemployment with no cushion. But the person with $10,000, they're calm. They're strategic. They know they have 3 to 6 months to find the right opportunity, not just any opportunity. They might even use this moment to pivot into something better, something they've been wanting to try but never had the security to attempt. Same situation, completely different outcomes, all because of that $10,000 buffer. And wait, it gets even more interesting. That $10,000 doesn't just protect them from disasters. It creates opportunities that didn't exist before. Maybe they hear about a certification that could boost their income by $8,000 a year, but it costs $1,500 up front. Without savings, that's impossible. They wouldn't even consider it, but with their foundation built, it's an obvious investment. They pay $1,500, earn the certification, and increase their income. The $10,000 just paid for itself and then some. Now let me ask you something that might sound strange. Why does the first $10,000 matter more than the first $100,000? To answer this, you need to understand what most people get completely wrong about building wealth. They think it's about the money. Well, it's not. And why? It's because that first $10,000 is what shapes you into the kind of person who can eventually reach $100,000. Think about it this way. Saving $10,000 requires you to develop discipline, consistency, and patience. You have to learn to say no to things that drain your wallet. You have to automate good habits. These are skills, and skills compound. Once you've built them, they carry you forward automatically. But here's what's fascinating, and this is the part that answers our earlier question. Most people never reach $10,000 precisely because they're obsessed with $100,000. They're chasing the big number, the exciting milestone, the moment when they'll finally feel rich. So they jump into risky investments. They chase crypto pumps. They buy courses promising passive income. They gamble on shortcuts because $10,000 feels too small, too boring, too slow. And they stay broke forever because they never built the foundation. They're trying to construct the 10th floor of a building without laying the ground floor first. It doesn't work. It can't work. But the person who focuses on $10,000 first is building differently. They're not chasing excitement. They're building stability. And stability is what allows everything else to grow. What happens emotionally when you hit this milestone? You wake up one morning, check your account, and see 5 figures, and something clicks. For the first time in your life, you're not terrified of the future. You're not calculating whether you can afford groceries next week. You're not avoiding your friends because you're ashamed of your financial situation. You feel capable. You feel powerful. And that feeling, that quiet confidence, changes how you walk into job interviews, how you negotiate your salary, how you approach risk, how you interact with opportunities. So why does this confidence matter so much? What's the actual mechanism that turns confidence into more money? Before we answer that, if you're finding value in this, make sure you hit that subscribe button because we're about to go even deeper into this topic. Don't forget to also leave a like so more people can get this message. Now, let's go on. Confidence matters because people can sense it. Employers can see it. When you're desperate, when you need the job, they smell it and they lowball you. But when you're grounded, when you know you'll be fine either way, you negotiate from strength. You ask for what you're worth. You walk away from bad deals because you're not operating from fear. And that confidence often translates directly into higher income, better opportunities, and faster wealth accumulation. Now, this takes us into something that's going to sound controversial, but it's true. The journey to $10,000 is harder than the journey from $10,000 to $100,000. Not because the math is harder. Obviously, saving $90,000 more takes time. But psychologically, emotionally, mentally, the first $10,000 is brutal. Because you're fighting against every instinct, every habit, every social pressure that kept you broke. You're swimming upstream. You're saying no when everyone else says yes. You're staying home when your friends are out spending. That's the real battle. And once you win it, once you cross $10,000, the current changes direction. You're no longer swimming upstream. You're riding momentum. Let's talk about something called decision fatigue. Do you know how much mental energy you're burning every single day just thinking about money? Every day, you make hundreds of micro-financial decisions. Should I buy this? Can I afford that? Is this too expensive? Each decision burns mental energy. And by the end of the day, you're exhausted from constantly calculating whether you're allowed to spend money. This exhaustion leads to poor choices. You're too tired to cook, so you order expensive takeout. You're too drained to research better deals, so you overpay for everything. You're running on empty, and empty people make expensive mistakes. But when you have $10,000 saved, most of those micro decisions disappear. Here's something most people miss entirely, and it's probably the most important lesson in this entire video. What is the first $10,000 actually teaching you? The first $10,000 teaches you the language of money. And money, like any language, gets easier the more you practice. In the beginning, saving feels foreign and uncomfortable. You don't know the rules. You make mistakes. You relapse into old spending patterns. But as you persist, as you build that first $10,000, you become fluent. You start seeing money differently. You understand that every dollar is a choice between now and later. And once you speak the language, earning more money becomes natural because you know how to handle it. And this is exactly why people who skip this step always fail. The person who jumps straight to chasing $100,000 without this foundation is simply trying to write poetry in a language they don't speak. Even if they stumble into money through luck or inheritance or a windfall, they lose it quickly because they never learned the fundamentals. That's why lottery winners go broke. That's why athletes earning millions end up bankrupt. They never learned the language. Now let me reveal what I promised at the beginning. The confidence compounding effect. This is how it works. When you have $0 saved, every dollar you save feels impossible. You're climbing a mountain, and each step is exhausting. But as your balance grows, something magical happens. Your confidence grows with it. And confidence makes the next dollar easier to save. Not because the math changed, but because you changed. By the time you hit $5,000, you're saving faster than you did at $1,000. Not because you're earning more, but because the habit is stronger. By $7,000, you're finding ways to save that you never noticed before. By $10,000, saving isn't a struggle anymore. It's automatic. It's who you are. And that's when the real acceleration begins. Because the same discipline that built $10,000 can build $50,000. The same patience can build $100,000. The same identity can build $1 million. But it all starts with proving to yourself that you can reach $10,000. That's the unlock. That's the confidence compounding effect. Let me show you exactly how this plays out in real life with an example that'll make everything crystal clear. Two people start investing. The first one saves $10,000 first, then starts investing. The second starts investing immediately, putting $200 a month into the market without any emergency fund. Suddenly, the market drops 30%. The second person, without savings, panics. They need that money for an unexpected car repair. They sell at the bottom, locking in losses. But the first person with $10,000 saved, they don't even blink. Their foundation covers the emergency. Their investments stay untouched. They might even buy more while prices are low. 5 years later, the second person is still broke, still panicking at every market move. The first person has multiplied their wealth because their foundation allowed them to stay calm and strategic. Same starting point, completely different outcomes. Now ask yourself this question: when are you actually going to start? Most people spend their entire lives waiting for the perfect moment to start building wealth. They're waiting for a raise, they're waiting for a better job. But what they don't understand is that life never gets easier. It gets different, but not easier. The perfect time doesn't exist. The only time that matters is now, because every day you wait is a day stolen from your future self. Every month you delay is another month your foundation stays weak, and weak foundations collapse under pressure. So this is what I want you to do. Stop obsessing over $100,000. Start small. Start real. Pick a number you can actually visualize. $10,000. That's it. Make it your only goal for the next year, 2 years, however long it takes. Cut the expenses that don't serve you. Automate your savings. Stay consistent even when it feels pointless. If this resonated with you, hit that subscribe button, leave a like, and let me know in the comments where you are on your journey. See you in the next video.